Hi, this is Joan Bornstein from Peabody, Massachusetts, and I play at Thompson Golf Club in North Reading, Massachusetts. This is Golf Smarter number 987.
All hypnosis is a form of self-hypnosis. Think of me as your tour guide. If you're driving up in the mountains and you're looking for this lake, and I help you get there, then once you get to the lake, you're there, you're enjoying it, you're loving life, and I'm no longer important. I'm just the one that helped you get there. So that's what a hypnotist does. So all forms of hypnosis are self-hypnosis because it takes place in your own subconscious mind. In fact, I made a video, Hypnosis 101 for golfers. It's on YouTube. The biggest myth about hypnosis is that you have to be easily swayed, gullible, weak-witted, dim-witted, not the sharpest crayon in the box. And people are proud to say, yeah, I can't be hypnotized. Once you understand what hypnosis is, you'll understand it's something that anyone could do. It's just a matter of choice. Now, the other myth is that once you're in a hypnotized state, let's just call it trance, once you're in trance, that you're under the power of the hypnotist.
Here's one you've never considered: how self-hypnosis can transform golf performance with Ken Holloway.
This is Golf Smarter, sharing stories, tips, and insights from great golf minds to help you lower your score and raise your golf IQ. Here's your host, Fred Green.
Welcome to the Golf Smarter podcast, Ken.
Hey, thanks, Fred. I'm delighted to be here.
It's good to have you on the show. This is going to be a fascinating topic because talking about flow state, the mental game, something that we do on a very regular basis. We just had a long conversation last episode on the flow state and getting there, staying there. But this is an approach that has not been made. Well, I've not been aware of taking an approach like this to get to the flow state, to get your mental game really tuned in. And that's with self-hypnosis. Now, we have had someone on before about hypnosis, self-hypnosis, but the person wasn't a golfer.
Right.
Now, this is a real different approach.
I listened to that episode.
Oh, okay. Thank you. But this is a real different approach because you are a golfer and you're trying to get golfers to learn how to use self-hypnosis to get themselves into a much better mental state for their game.
Absolutely.
Well, that was really great. Thanks so much, Ken.
Yeah, it was a great show. Yeah. See you next time. Hey, before we get started, I want to let you know we have a mutual friend.
Oh, is that right?
Yes. I'm referring to Martin Chuck.
Oh.
I met Martin over 10 years ago, and I've been following his work ever since. And he's my favorite golf coach in the whole world. And he's part of the reason why I moved to Phoenix, so I could be closer. Wow. To out to his golf academy. It's the Tour Striker Golf Academy, and it's like being a kid at Disneyland out there. It's so amazing. Cool. He is amazing.
So let's get back to this. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
Get back to the self-hypnosis to improve the life of a golfer.
Okay.
Go.
Okay, go. Well, I wanted to ask you how you got the focus to do the mental game of golf. And my understanding, and this is from my own personal experience, is people know, they sense the idea that the mental game of golf is important, but they don't necessarily know why it's important. And even if they did, they don't know how to improve at it or how to get better at it or how much it affects your golf performance. So, and I was one of them. It's like, I don't know. They say, oh, the most important, Bobby Jones, right? The 6 inches between your ears. So I didn't realize how important the mental game was to golf. But what I discovered quite by accident is that you could use hypnosis to incorporate all the principles of the mental game and implant them directly into the subconscious mind where most of us live and when we're playing golf. And to me, that was a revelation. I knew it was powerful, and I knew it was profound. And I knew that I was going to create a program just for golfers that just focuses on golf. And that's why we're here today.
Okay. So let's talk about that. Okay. Where do we get started? If we want to use let's not get started. Let's talk about the advantages of why we want to use self-hypnosis. on the golf course.
Well, why don't you give me a couple? Because I know my material, but just to make this interactive, what do you think are like the top 2 or 3 reasons that people struggle with their mental game?
Frustration.
Okay.
Because things not going the way you want them to.
Sure.
Which is golf. Do you want to keep going there?
Okay.
I mean, like, I think that's really personally, that's what happens with me when I start losing my game. It's because it's like, a couple bad shots, sometimes, a 3-putt will get me there, but short game stuff will not getting the results that I'm anticipating.
Okay. Gotcha. So like being 2 feet off the green and waste a whole shot.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I know what that frustration feels like. And that's part of the reason why I created the program. So everything about golf that we struggle with and we get frustrated about and everything, I'm the poster boy for all of that. I am, because I went through it myself for the longest time. It was ridiculous. Now that I have my hypnosis program, I took all the things about the mental game of golf. For example, getting emotionally upset and losing your cool. That would be one of them. Choking under pressure would be one. Losing your focus. Giving up on your pre-shot routine that helps you stay grounded and consistent. All the various kinds of things, all the aspects of the mental game that help you achieve peak performance. The hypnosis program goes directly into the subconscious mind, and it gives you cues like saying a keyword or having a key technique or taking a cleansing breath and so forth that helps you recenter yourself and get your game back on track and it starts with getting your head straight. Okay. So I hope that answers your question, because, like James Siekman says, if you hit a bad shot, then you don't own it. You objectify it and you turn it into a teaching moment. And you say, if I could do that shot over again, how would I do it differently? And that turns it into a learning opportunity. And that's how champions, how their mind works. So I like to help golfers make the most of every moment and every opportunity that they have on the golf course to play golf up to their best of their ability and to reach their full potential and enjoy being in the moment and playing excellent golf, because that's why we're all there. We want to hit the shot that keeps us coming back, right? Mm-hmm. And when I discovered that hypnosis was so powerful to help people on every single one of these points, that's what helped me create my program and make a career out of this. Not to mention, I've hypnotized thousands of people all over the country.
And on stage, right? I mean, This is entertainment. You do that as well.
Yeah, yes. And I have to admit, unlike Dr. Siegel, I never made anyone cluck like a chicken. He had mentioned that, that's what stage hypnotists do, and I never did.
Yeah, but you get people to growl like tiger.
No, I never.
That would be more of the goal for a golfer is like, no, make me swing like tiger and think that way.
Yeah, no, that's not a bad idea. But
I want to be a chicken. I want to be a tiger.
My comedy was situational comedy. So I had people acting off of each other. Like I might have a woman think that the person next to her is pinching her on the butt whenever I rub my forehead. That would be an example of creating a situational comedy. And then they respond with the cue. And although nothing actually happened, then the woman's having a reaction like, you keep your hands to yourself, mister. And then the audience laughs. See, so,
yeah. How do you get people to agree to come up on stage for that?
They volunteer. And It's an art form as a hypnotist to look out into a sea of faces, and they're all jumping up and down and they got their hands going and everything. And because it's fun, it's incredibly exciting. And, and then you pick about 20 people, bring them up on stage. And I always had an assistant where she's still my partner. And we've been partners 31 years. And we bring up about 20 people. And we do an induction on the stage where everyone can watch. And then it takes about, 6 minutes or so. And then we keep about the best 8 people out of 20 and make a show out of that. So each of these 8 people, that's our recipe for success, is to do a show with about 8 to 10 people.
When you say the best, how do you get to that? What is it that you're looking for?
Great question. So one of the things we're looking for as a hypnotist is how well do people pay attention to what I'm saying and how well do they follow my directions? Mm-hmm. Okay. This is built into the hypnosis program. By the way, it's called Play Like the Pros. So one of the cues one of the suggestions we give is that your arms feel heavy, your arms feel loose, limp, and relaxed, and your arms feel heavy in your lap. Then we come along and lift up someone's arm and let go. And if the arm stays up, then they're not paying attention. And if the arm plops down, then we know that they're following.
They can move on to the next round. Yeah, right.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. Yeah. And actually, one of the reasons, this is an insider secret that almost nobody would know. One of the reasons why I work with assistant and a lot of hypnotists don't is because when I'm facing the audience and I have my back to my volunteers, some of them could be faking because they've seen the show, they know how to act, they know how to look hypnotized, but they're actually not. Mm. And so we eject them off the stage and I have an assistant it's like, oh, this guy, yeah, he's faking it, he's out of here. And then that way we're because we would be like at a fair. So we'd be like doing 2 shows a day for a week or something.
I mean, like a county fair, not...
Yeah, a county fair, state fair.
I thought you said an affair. It's like, wait, what? What?
No, don't go there. We did. Fair. We got to do 3 seasons at Six Flags Magic Mountain, and that was a blast.
I bet.
The Golden Bear Theater, the show, it was so loud, so... just the best energy in the world. And awesome. It was a good place to hone my craft. So that's to answer your question, that's how we had various techniques. And of course, Anna and I trained together. So she knew what to look for as well. And she could just tell.
So I got a chance to listen to most of you. You sent me the audio of one of your hypnosis sessions, and I was listening to it. And one of the lines that you had in there, I absolutely loved, which is every shot has the potential to be great.
Yep.
Right. And it is such a great way to look at it, hypnosis or not, that, when our frustration gets in the way and we're like, today sucks, I'm not going to be very good, and I just screwed up that shot, and then your attitude is all wrong. But if you go in with an attitude of, this could be the shot of the day, this could be my best shot, that's really going to help you. Now, my problem with the hypnosis part and listening to the audio, I was in a room by myself, it was dark, right? There was one small light on in there, and I was very comfortable. But, we've talked many times, people say, don't think about a pink elephant. And what else are you going to do is think about a pink elephant. So when you tell me to sit still and relax and feel the heaviness of your legs and your arms, I start itching and twitching. And it's like, I can't sit. Unless I'm going to sleep, I can't sit still like that. So I struggled with it a bit. Can you hypnotize me now? You can't do this over.
No, not over the.
Okay, I was hoping that would have been a lot of fun. But anyway, but I'm sure that there are things about hypnosis that some people it works, some people it doesn't. And there's probably a tremendous amount of myths about not only hypnosis in general, but self-hypnosis that I'd love to break through and let people understand, let me understand what are the things that we should be aware of.
Okay, great. Well, it surprises me. I think Dr. Spiegel brought this up as well, that all hypnosis is a form of self-hypnosis. Okay. So the short answer to that one is think of me as your tour guide. If you're driving up in the mountains and you're looking for this lake and I help you get there, then once you get to the lake, you're there, you're enjoying it, you're loving life, and I'm no longer important. I'm just the one that helped you get there. Okay? So that's what a hypnotist does. A hypnotist acts in that role. So all forms of hypnosis are self-hypnosis because it takes place in your own subconscious mind, whoever's using the hypnosis.
Okay. So what are the myths that we have to be concerned about? Is that the main one? Is that it?
No. And in fact, I made a video about Hypnosis 101 for golfers. It's on YouTube. Anyone can watch it. My channel is Golf Coach Buddy. And so the biggest myth about hypnosis is that you have to be easily swayed, gullible, weak-witted, dim-witted, not the sharpest crayon in the box. and people are proud to say, yeah, I can't be hypnotized, or, yeah, I'm not susceptible to hypnosis, right? You've probably heard that, right? Maybe you said it yourself.
Love those people.
Well, here's the thing. If you once you understand what hypnosis is, you'll understand it's something that anyone could do. And it's just a matter of choice. And this applies to you too. So we're going to come back full circle to that. Okay.
Great.
Now, the other myth is that once you're in a hypnotized state, let's just call it trance to facilitate conversation. Once you're in trance, that you're under the power of the hypnotist. And see, that's an incredible myth. And it's prevalent. And that's what most people believe because hypnosis has been stigmatized. And so believe me, well, let's start with a question. Have you ever been to a movie at a theater and you were so moved it brought you to tears?
Of course.
Could you tell me what movie it was?
Most of the time when I cry at movies, it's on airplanes. But I haven't been to a movie theater in a long time. Schindler's List.
Okay, Schindler's List.
Throwing it.
Okay.
I'm just throwing it out there. Okay.
Yeah. So when all the atrocities were going on and you're emotionally involved and you were getting into it and it was making you upset and causing you to have these emotional reactions, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Did you ever feel like you weren't yourself?
I don't even know what that means.
Well, if you're in a theater, you're sitting there, it's dark, right? Mm-hmm. You're not sitting there squirming around. You're just sitting there in the chair watching the movie. It's dark. You're ignoring distractions. You're paying attention to the movie. And they're all actors, right? Mm-hmm. That if the lights came on or you smelled smoke or the fire alarm went off or something, you just get up and leave like everybody else, right? So you felt normal and natural in every way, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay. Without even thinking about it. Okay. So you weren't aware of your conscious awareness because you relaxed that and just enjoyed the movie at a subconscious level. And that's where our emotions run. Okay. So being in a theater, watching a movie and relaxed and just enjoying it, you're still you still feel normal in every way. And if you need to be interrupted for something important, it happens instantly. No big deal. Right. And that's what hypnosis feels like. So people think that they're going to feel weird. I did myself when the first time I got hypnotized. I'm like, oh, this is going to feel weird. I'm going to feel like I'm buzzing or something weird, right? I'm going to feel like I'm not myself or something. But that never happens. Okay. Being in a state of being in trance is similar to just being in a state of daydream. Now I got another question for you, Fred. Have you ever been driving home from work and all of a sudden you pull up in your driveway and you're like,
you don't know how
holy smokes, I don't remember driving for the last 10 minutes, right?
Yeah,
Does that happen to you?
Of course.
Okay.
It really used to happen to me a lot when I had a manual transmission. When I was in stick shift and I'm like, how did I get to third gear? Wait, what?
Exactly. So it's very similar to being at the movie. Your body is doing something boring and repetitive. You're driving your same old car down the same old road at the same time of the day, dealing with the same drivers and everything. and you just kind of go on autopilot. You're consciously driving the car safely, but your mind is off in la la land. You're daydreaming. You're thinking about your wife or whatever. It could be anything, right?
Welcome to my world. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that is precisely what it's like to be in a hypnotic state. Okay. So you're still you. You
And
still
some
have
people
conscious.
would call that the flow zone. I mean, like the flow
Exactly.
state.
Yeah. And we'll come back around to that.
Yeah.
So you're still you. You still feel normal in every way. You still have full cognitive function and awareness, but your brain is in a it's vibrating in the theta zone. So that's what it's like to be. So if everyone's had these experiences, anytime you do something boring or repetitive, like taking a shower, driving home from work, going to a movie theater, where you relax the body's doing something rote, and your subconscious mind is just going all over the place, having a great time, right? That's exactly what hypnosis feels like. So anyone can do it anytime they want. And in fact, everyone gets into that state often, whether they're aware of it or not. And the job of a hypnotist, as I mentioned earlier, is like being the guide. And I said all hypnosis is a form of self-hypnosis. So if you came to me and said, hey, my golf game's pretty good, but I just suck on these short putts under pressure. I get the yips and I just can't control my putting. I get the yips and it just frustrates the heck out of me, right? So we could do a session together. I could help you relax. It'd be like, walking into a theater, turn off the lights, sit down in a comfy chair, right? Just like at a theater. And then, so I help you get your body relaxed. And then I will give you suggestions. And the suggestions will be, Fred, every time you step onto the green, the color green, you feel the grass beneath your feet and you feel relaxed. You feel in control. And you see the putt and you know you can make the putt and you feel relaxed and full of confidence. And when you set up to the ball, you feel the weight of the club in your hands and you feel the ground under your feet and you know that you're going to make a nice smooth stroke and the ball's going to go in, blah, 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 right? So these are suggestions I would give you. But again, I'm the guide. Everything that's important is happening is in your mind. Mm-hmm. Okay, so does that kind of make the picture for you? And if I said, hey, Fred, as long as you're hypnotized, tomorrow I want you to go rob a bank and bring me all the cash. Okay, you would reject that suggestion because that's not something you would want to do, right? Sure. So anytime, and it's called a suggestion for a reason. It's not a command. So this ties in with the myth I said earlier about people think that they're under the control of the hypnotist. And see, that's a myth because I can only give suggestions. I can't give commands. No one's under my command. Now, people are free to choose to follow the suggestion or not, but you always have your conscious awareness, just like being in a theater or driving a car. So you're always able to reject any suggestion that you want to. And that's important. And once people understand that, then they have understanding and they no longer feel threatened by it. Then it becomes a matter of going, well, hey, what are those suggestions? If they can help me with my golf game, I'd love to hear them. Right? And I want to make this happen because here's the thing. I don't want to run out of time here, but when you start out in life, you are a sponge. You are recording everything, all five senses, full blast, being filmed and recorded in your subconscious mind. And almost everything important in life that we learn how to do and how to process things, we're done with that by the time we're 6 or 7 years old. And most people as adults, those are the programs they run their whole life. For most of us. It's like, I think there was a book, I haven't read it. I think Everything Important I Learned in Kindergarten, something like that. It's probably a good book. Anyway, by using hypnosis as an adult, if you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s or whatever, and like you think, gosh, am I ever going to get better at golf? I'm so frustrated, by using hypnosis, you can rewrite the subconscious program that isn't serving you, like getting the yips on a short putt under pressure, right? Okay. And you can replace it with another program that works better. And then the only thing left is repetition. Okay. So you have to listen to the program, every day for, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, whatever. And the longer you listen to it, you reinforce the new program. It occurs over time, but all you have to do is listen. Okay. And you could do it as you're drifting off to sleep at night. So it doesn't even take time out of your day. You just play the tape. I call it a tape. Play the program. Listen to it as you're drifting off to sleep at night. And then all of a sudden you're out on the golf course and you start getting amazing results, and you'll know it's because of the hypnosis program. And the kicker is that once that new program is in your subconscious mind, it'll be there as if you've had it your whole life. It's who you are now.
Okay, couple things. In listening to the program, as I was lying there last night, and you said, I'm going to use, if you use the word green, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the trigger word for you.
Yep.
It's not a good word for me. That's my last name. So that word gets thrown around a lot in my life. So I'm like, I got to come up with another name. But I'm someone who, and I've been open about this, I'm medicated for ADD, right?
Okay.
ADHD. And it's, for me, life is now and not now. Right? You look confused. I mean, that's
I want to understand what you're saying, but I don't want to pretend if I don't.
Yeah. Well, I've got a hyper focus, which really was a lot of ADD is hyper focus. Otherwise it's, I can hear the 3 conversations that are going at the tables around me, as well as the one going on. And then like when my wife says, I want to make a plan for next, it's like, just make the plan and I'll be there. But don't ask me to think about, I gotta, all I can really do is schedule my rounds of golf and get my work done. But it's now and not now. Does that make sense at all? So it's hard for me to get into that state, at least my first time around. I mean, okay. I'm definitely willing to try it again.
Okay. Well, the induction that I use in the program, that's after many years of diligent study and experience to be the most effective to the largest group of people. And I wouldn't make the claim necessarily that particular induction word for word is going to work 100% for every single human being on the planet that speaks English.
Great.
What I would say is if you buy the program and for some reason it doesn't work for you and you're not happy, you can get your money back.
Okay.
But in your case, I'm happy to discuss your particular issue with the ADHD. But as far as the keyword goes, you could just mentally change it.
Oh, okay, good.
Just think of a word that works for you better. In fact, let's just come up with one right now.
Yeah.
Now, this is a word that, as you're going through a round of golf, okay, there's certain things that you have, okay? You use your eyesight to focus on your target, right? You use your hands to hold the club. And you use your feet to feel the ground beneath you, right? So we want you to be in the present moment of golf. We want you to be focused on exactly what you're doing. And so we want to keep you centered and grounded. Okay. So a lot of the suggestions are worded in that direction that, hey, you're walking around the golf course. You see the target. You see a golf ball. You feel the weight of the club in your hands. You feel the ground beneath your feet. Take one of these cues and make a word out of it that helps you think of all the good, powerful, and positive suggestions that you want to use in your subconscious mind.
Balance.
Balance. Great. Balance. So when you say your keyword is green, I want you to think your keyword is balance. Mm-hmm. So every time you step up to a ball, or better yet, let's say if you have a good pre-shot routine, okay, and you got the club in your hand, you're standing back behind the ball, you're sighting down your target line, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you're envisioning the shot you want to hit, and you take a practice swing, right? When you come out of that practice swing, you're feeling the weight of the club in your hands as you're imagining the shot you're about to hit. This is a mental rehearsal, right? And a physical rehearsal. And then when you finish that backswing and you hold that finish, that's where your balance is, right? Mm-hmm. And you're thinking, my keyword is balance. Now I'm going to step up and perform this shot beautifully.
I like it.
So think of your keyword balance every time you do your pre-shot routine.
Yeah.
That's going to help
work for me. Yeah.
Great. Well, it's going to help you stay balanced, it's going to help you stay in the present moment and stay centered and focus on your objective, which is to hit the shot you rehearse onto your target.
And do you teach golf? Are you also a golf instructor?
I do. I joined the Professional Golf Teachers Association of America, mm-hmm. and they're it's like a home study course, basically.
Okay.
But I worked with several top-ranked professionals.
Great.
And my focus is on putting and the short game.
Nice.
But I'm also schooled in, the full body swing, the full gamut. So, and the reason why I'm trained that way is because I think of myself as a golf performance coach. So I take a holistic approach to every facet of a golfer's game. And so when I contemplate bringing on a new golf coaching client, that person, I will talk about their golf journey, and we'll figure out if it's a good fit for me to work with that person. And part of that is to assess their full game and see where they can make the most improvement in the least amount of time and effort. So I focus on an immediate improvement and then a long-term improvement.
Awesome. With so many golf instructors, they're working on swing mechanics, right? And not enough work on playing golf, right? Which is all the different aspects. It's not just about hitting the ball.
Right.
It's about playing the golf course. It's about, playing the game and making the best out of your bad shots, which are going to happen no matter what.
Sure.
And so what's interesting is so many books, and God, all the way back to Hogan, is talking about the swing and to become a better golfer and stuff. But it's really not that's the focus of this podcast. It's all about the mental part of it. It's all about the internal struggle that's going on and getting through a round of golf, not on your mechanics, but on playing a round of golf.
Right. Sure. You mentioned earlier, you mentioned the zone.
Yeah.
And that's the opposite of struggle. Being in the zone is when it's easy. It's effortless, right? You let the club head do the work. You're seeing the shots you want to hit. Your balls are tracking on target. You're enjoying the day. You just feel great. You're like walking above the ground. Life is beautiful, right? Mm-hmm. And so when you work on the mental game, you're kind of like tipping the scales in your favor so you can set yourself up for success to enjoy peak performance during your round of golf. Mm-hmm. And I happen to believe that, hypnosis can make a big difference in that regard. And so I've got lots of materials that people can, a lot of people have been following your podcast, which focuses on the middle game. And that's what attracted us to each other. But I've created a variety of free resources on YouTube and on my website, golfcoachbuddy.com, where people can come and learn more about how the mental game works, why it's important, and how you could use hypnosis to improve your mental game. Because if you want to be honest, your mental game can make or break your performance on the golf course. And the body follows the mind. And every shot exists first in your mind's eye. So the better you are at, what's the one thing everyone says they want in golf?
More distance.
More consistency.
More consistency and more distance.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So doesn't it make sense that if your mental approach to this golf game is more consistent, then so is your physical performance going to be more consistent?
Nice.
Yeah. And that's where it's at.
Let's talk about you've now become accustomed to the self-hypnosis part of getting yourself into that place where you can recall the trigger word. What about your pre-round preparation? Is this something that you need to do with the self-hypnosis at the golf course before you leave the house? Where do you put that, and what is the what's the word I'm looking for there? Your practice, your warm up.
I got you. Yeah. It's funny you should bring that up because I'm actually producing a pre-round pep talk right now. It'll be out, this week. So it's about 2 minutes. So
by the time that this podcast is
it'll be out long before the podcast airs.
This is available. So it is available now.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's at golfcoachbuddy.com?
Yeah, golfcoachbuddy.com. Okay. And it's the pre-round pep talk. And it's a little over 2 minutes. And it's very personalized because I'm really particular about my brand and making connection with people that like my brand, just like your brand. So the pre-round pep talk is coming out, and you can listen to it in your car on the way to the golf course. You can listen to it when you get there, whatever works for you.
Tell me a little more about it.
The pep talk?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what are we trying to accomplish, and how are you getting us there?
Well, the idea of it is that people that are used to my work, they'll make a connection with my voice, so it'll help ground them. Okay. And then all the content that's particularly in the pep talk is designed to have your head in the game, put your game face on, get out there and be in the moment of golf and enjoy playing, the beauty of the game. That's what it's all about. And get out there and crush it. And, if you get knocked down, you get back up.
Right.
So that's
how do we stop beating ourselves up?
Well, Fred, you got to be your own best friend on the golf course. You talk about the mental game. Imagine for a moment if you hired a caddy, right? And you have a caddy there as a stranger, and you hit a shot, and it's god awful, right? And the caddy goes, "Boy, you really suck. You should take up basket weaving or something, right?" And then you like, "Wow, I can't believe you said that." And then after the next shot, it's like you miss the easy putt, or like, "Wow, way to go there, Alice." Whatever. Yeah. Right. It gives you a bunch of grief and talks, surly, right? You would never hire that caddy again. If you went back, it's the same guy. So, no. I want somebody else. This guy's a jerk, right? Right. So why would you talk to yourself that way?
Absolutely.
See?
Absolutely.
And that's what we do.
If anybody, I mean, from what I've witnessed, if anyone's going to yell at anyone, they're going to yell at themselves. Like, it's like everyone uses, they slam themselves and use their own name. Great shot, Fred. Oh, you suck, Fred. Oh, it's like, I try to avoid that at all costs. I try, but when someone screams at himself on the course, I'll regularly say, "Don't talk to my friend that way."
Okay. Yeah. Well, so when you use the hypnosis, as I was mentioning earlier, and you reprogram your subconscious mind, then you're writing new programs that run, and those programs no longer run. It's like for someone who's smokes cigarettes, right? They have all these cues that make them want to light a cigarette, open a beer, get in the car, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
And when a person decides that they're not going to smoke anymore, all those cues are still there, right? The program's still running. There's a neural pathway emblazoned in the brain that says, hey, every time you walk into a bar and order a beer, you light a cigarette, right? Well, so unless you don't go into bars and order a beer anymore, you're still going to put yourself in a situation where you used to want to light a cigarette, right? So now you have to have a new neural pathway in your brain for your brain to follow that serves you better, that's more healthy, that you extinguish the old one by attrition. You come up with a new one that takes its place. See? And then you follow that new one there. And hypnosis makes it possible, because how else are we supposed to directly communicate with our subconscious mind? You would not believe how powerful the subconscious mind is. For example, someone who's afraid to fly. You put them on a big giant 747, right? And all of a sudden they have a panic attack, right? And you're like, oh, just calm down. It's all safe. This plane's, 20 years old. It's not going to crash, right? There's redundant systems. They got four engines. The pilots, you give all the reasons in the world why it's safe, right? But they're having an emotional response like, no, I'm panic attack. It's fight or flight. Their heart rate's pumping, their blood, it's fight or flight. The hormones are pumping, and they're having an attack, and it's real in their mind. And chemically, it's real, right? The neurochemically. So, but it started in their mind. That's where its genesis is. That's where it lives. So when they think of getting on an airplane, they're going to have a panic attack, right? Now, to a lesser degree, that happens when you walk onto a putting green. You walk onto the green and you set up for, let's say, a lag putt. And you think, oh, I got this. And you knock it past and it rolls, 11 feet by, right? And you're like, oh, no. Now I'm not going to be able to make this other putt. Now I'm going to 3-putt. Then you start feeling awful. Then your heart starts pumping. And then you start feeling jacked up, and now you're a bundle of nerves, right? And if that happens, you probably are going to miss the putt. But now you know why. So with hypnosis, you can extinguish that behavior just like quitting smoking and put a new behavior in its place that works better for you. And this is something you can make a conscious choice to do.
I love that. Let's talk about your program, Play Like the Pros.
Okay.
And how people can get involved with it.
Okay.
And get in touch.
All right. Well, I'll tell you, I waited a long time to bring out the program because I wanted to get it the love, time, and attention that it deserves. And I wanted to make it maximally effective. And I knew I'd only get one chance to impress people with getting results and offering 100% money back satisfaction guarantee. So if it doesn't deliver the goods, it's not going to be a successful program. Right. So I had all that in mind as I created it. And I spent about a year putting it together. And then I spent another year rewriting it, reworking it, and optimizing it with the latest statistics about good strategy on the golf course. And so here's what I did. I created the hypnosis program, which is an MP3 track. It's about 24 minutes long. And then I created a companion program that's a PDF, and it's about 60 pages long. And what the PDF does, if you just sit and read it, and it talks about how hypnosis works, and it talks about the importance of the short game, and it talks about using good strategy around the golf course. So I'm setting you up. It's like an alley-oop. Okay. I'm setting you up to have the thoughts in your conscious awareness to go, yeah, now that I think about it, that is a good idea. I would like to be able to feel more relaxed when I step onto the putting green. So I accept the idea of that, right? Then the hypnosis gives it to you. It puts it right into your subconscious mind when you're doing your self-hypnosis. Okay. And so those come together with a welcome video that tells you how to use the program, how to do the hypnosis. And then there's also some bonus programs because I don't know about you. I love golf tips, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, hey, what are the...
I've been doing this show for 20 years. Yeah, I love golf tips.
Okay. So if you think, what are the biggest scoring mistakes, for example, right? What are the best scoring tips? What's the best way to practice? These are things that could be really beneficial. But who's got the time to sit and read a mountain of books and everything? So I read the mountain of books, and I created what I call Ken's Top 10s, Ken's Top 10 scoring mistakes, Ken's Top 10s scoring tips, and Ken's Top 10 practice tips, and Ken's Top 10 pre-shot routine. So these are all programs that come as a bonus, and they come with the program. You get them for free. You can't buy them separately. They only come bundled with the program. And the reason why they're there is to help you turbocharge your results that you get from the hypnosis. So altogether, it's a great package. And normally I sell it on my website for $97.
Okay.
But for being on your show today, and I know you have dedicated listeners, and if they'd like to buy the program, I'm offering a $20 discount with a discount code for Golf Smarter. So if you go to my website, golfcoachbuddy.com/pros, it's easy to find on the website, but the page is pros.
Golfcoachbuddy.com.
And put that in your cart, put in the coupon code Golf Smarter, and you get $20 off. So you get it as an instant download, and the total cost is $77. And here's the best part. You don't have to take my word for it if it's going to work for you. You try it out to your heart's content. You go out, play your heart out, use the program, follow the program, and up to 60 days, if you're not happy with it for any reason whatsoever, no questions asked, you just let me know and we'll give you all your money back. So there's really no risk. Okay.
Very generous. Thank you. That's really kind of you to offer the Golf Smarter community a very generous discount.
Well, it's my way of
probably should cost a lot more than that, but that's great.
Well, it's my way of showing my appreciation for being on the show today and reaching your audience.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, Ken, thank you so much for the education and the fascinating insights on another way to improve our game. I really appreciate your time.
Fred, it's been my pleasure, and I hope to see you again soon.